First up, serving up karma on a silver platter. Believe in karma because she's serving it up to ex and affair partner. Affair partner is my ex's coworker. She makes about $17 an hour as an EMT. Affair partner has 4 kids, ages 11 and under with the youngest 5, and left her husband as she was engaging with an affair with my now ex-spouse, beginning last January, and I found out in July. Did I mention she's been living in a car ever since? She got a shed on 10 acres of property in the divorce, but can't afford to hook up utilities, so she hasn't been able to exercise joint custody. Her ex is taking her back to court to get full custody and stop paying her support, and served her last week. I feel bad for the kids. Their mom is a piece of crap. This weekend, my ex drops off his vehicle he got as a Christmas gift last year, only in my name, because he was supposed to refinance it in his name, but doesn't have the financial means to do so. Because of his financial infidelity, he has maxed out all his credit cards and has had to move his adult daughter and son-in-law to help pay the bills because the house was based on my income, not his $23 an hour. I make 3 times as much as him. After discovering his serious fiscal irresponsibility, I didn't reveal I knew, just said you keep your debt and I'll keep mine. You keep the house. He was thrilled. I made it so easy. He lost any access to my retirement. He had 0, and pension. 90 days after the divorce, I have my own house, both cars, etc., etc. So believe their life may look good on social media, but karma doesn't forget. The community has a couple thoughts. Separate Life 4570 says, ditto, calming to hear justice at work. Like a cheating ex on every dating platform he can find, slowly turning into an incel because his short self can't get a second date with anyone. I just got a message last month. I messed up. You were the only person who saw value in me and I threw it away. With enough time, maybe you can see fit to give me another try. Until then, I will stay single and wait like you waited for my attention day after day. So I catfished, arranged a date, and sent him, here's to you staying single and waiting day after day. 10 minutes before the date, just delete the account. He never asked if it was me and pretends it never happened, but he's never going to be worth another try. Tall, blonde, and cute says, I bet he thought he could get her white knight and save her with your money, but she never loved him for who he was, but what he did, and he loved her because she made him feel special or wanted. Things he could have done in his own marriage, but did it outside of it. What are you going to do with the 2 cars? The OP replies, trade them both in and get what I want. Thank you for asking. He's terrible with responsibility and financial matters. It should have been a red flag when he didn't file 5 years of city, state, and federal tax returns. I just felt bad and fixed it all. Come to find out, the government is now after him. He's in denial. NJ Photog 212 says, kudos for your win. My ex-wife did something similar. She left me for her affair partner and didn't want to be bothered with our 5 kids. At the same time, ages 2 through 10, I got the house, the car, sole custody of the kids, and she took off and wasn't heard from again for 6 years. Best thing that could have happened to us was to be rid of her. She apparently bounced from guy to guy, eventually landing at her parents at one point. One more from Empty Education 4240. It's not just karma that made this happen, it was you. Making level-headed decisions, looking long-term financially, and getting the burden of carrying him in your life was brilliant. You could have moped around until you lost your job, allowed him to access your retirement, ended up with his debt, and kept the car and house for short-term gain. You chose to fix your life, not worry about having immediate vindication. You took a very short-term setback, and now you can recover at a much better rate. Kudos for sure. Excellent way to stick it to the man. It's funny how the trash just takes itself out. He totally found someone who was more his type. Garbage. Sorry, OP. You're way better than this man ever deserved. Social media is a total lie anyways. Anybody who has to post happy, smiling photos of themselves and boast to the world is hiding something. Life isn't meant to be perfect. Life is flawed. Best to show your flaws off graciously. What do you think? Next, a donkey in a wolf's clothing. He, 26 male, asked me, 24 female, to leave the apartment for a week because his family was coming? It wasn't his family. I remember we had this conversation at the beginning of our relationship. We thoroughly discussed how we define cheating. As for me, flirting and above is cheating. Emotional connections and seeking deep feelings with other people is cheating. His definition of cheating struck me a bit, because he told me that putting yourself in a potentially dangerous situation is also cheating for him. Basically, I asked a hypothetical question and he told me that if I were to be raped, he would consider it unforgivable, cheating. I was really shocked by his response, but at that time, I just related it to him being super possessive. 3 years into our relationship, I started noticing that he went a bit cold. He had a lot on his plate at the time, and I tried looking at it from his perspective, but it still bugged me. I sacrificed a lot for him. We originally met in one city, but then he moved to another state for work purposes, and since my school offered online lecture recordings, I was living with him, while traveling to the university once in a while for academic matters. He was struggling with depression, and I was always there for him. I liked creating the comforting atmosphere, and was going out of my way to create the perfect home for both of us. In October, he told me that his uncle had to come to the city for some unexpected work trip, and he had no place to stay. So he offered his uncle to stay with him, and asked me to relocate to the school city for a week. It kind of triggered me, and we had a bit of a fight, but I figured it'd be good for me to go and catch up with academic stuff in person. Fast forward when I came back, I saw a new pillow and woman's shampoo and conditioner in the shower. My boyfriend was into this kind of stuff. He used a lot of skincare, always had tons of hair products, and sometimes did use female conditioners. I was still surprised, but he told me that he just pulled it out from his mom's stuff that she left when she visited him a couple of months before that. I grew suspicious, but didn't have anything else apart from the evidence. So one early morning, I went through his phone and found a conversation with one woman written as Ashley the wife. In his contacts, name changed. They were saying I love yous to each other, professing their feelings and all of that, saying how destined they are to have met, and so on. Fast forward, the girl didn't know about me and thought they were dating for 1.5 months already. Yeah, they were just going on cute walks and dates after or during work. Upon confronting, he admitted that he'd started feeling off about me, had some sort of cognitive dissonance, and wanted to break up but didn't want to hurt my feelings. Well, yeah, turns out she was that uncle because of which I was asked to vacate the apartment for a week, for him to properly screw her probably. Surprisingly, when he got caught, he took all of his words back, started crying like a baby, telling me he made the biggest mistake, and that's what helped him realize how much I mean to him. He was crying so bad that he almost had a heart attack, fainted, was throwing up, and couldn't move or walk, all of which I had to observe with the fresh feeling of betrayal I uncovered. Later that day, going through his phone again, I learned that he was on Tinder throughout our whole relationship because, as he said, he was insecure and needed this fuel of validation. He told me he didn't sleep with them, but I don't believe anything he says as of now. By the way, he had the balls to tell me that his uncle actually came and actually just slept over at his place a couple of times when the uncle left. But they didn't sleep together because it's at that moment that he realized that she was ugly and cringe, and it turned him off. Bingo, nothing adds up. Coming back to that early conversation we had about cheating boundaries, wow, the level of hypocrisy will amaze me till the end of the days. Edit. Did mention that yes, I dumped him of course. Our first response from the community comes from MFKN Ganja. You stayed with that man after he told you rape was unforgivable cheating? Girl. The OP replies, I know, it's so bad. What he meant is that it'll bother him too much so he wouldn't continue the relationship if it were to happen. Stupid times. Wolverine No 8799 says, phone the girl and say he confessed to the affair and you want to hear her version of what happened. After Top 9808 says, bro, this. If she truest didn't know you screwed up 2 relationships for him, maybe knowing what the bottom tastes like would be good for him. OP replies, girl, he told me that when she came over, they didn't screw because she had ugly feet and it turned him off and she got mad at him because he rejected her. And he used this confession as sort of evidence for me to believe him. What the F? How could anyone think of something like that? Like my whole perception of him crashed to Mariana Trench. I'll be telling this story to my grandkids for sure. Ashley was as surprised as me and dumped him too. She told me they slept though, but who knows? She could have as well lied to spoil it for him. But I don't care anymore because this is a crap show I didn't sign up for, unfortunately. Treacle1810 says, you stayed after he said that? Call him out and call the girl, ask her what she was doing at your place. He is playing you both. Or, even better, pack your crap and get away from him. Let him carry on with Tinder, etc. Wow, what an embarrassment. To behave that way after you confronted him? I honestly have secondary embarrassment. He totally made a fool out of himself in every way. Alligator tears. I would have laughed in his face. After that big spiel about rape being totally unforgivable, what a joke. And who actually thinks this way? It's sort of disgusting to think that someone you once loved can totally be such a pathetic donkey after all that time. After confronting a cheating partner, have they ever behaved this way? Spill the beans below. And lastly, don't fall into the trap of a pity party for one. It'll be the death of you. Why can't I just let go? My husband of 5 years together for 10 dropped the bomb on me that he was leaving me for his friend. I know that it's over and I need to let go, but I can't. He claims he wasn't happy but showed no indication. We have kids, so we aren't splitting till after the holidays. But he stays at her house now. They have a weekend retreat last weekend, and I just can't let go. I have begged and pleaded, but he's firm that it's over between us. I still just can't let go. I'm so heartbroken and didn't even realize that we had issues. He seemed like everything was great till like 2 months ago. When does the pain end? I never thought I would be going through this. I never thought that he would just walk out. We have 2 kids, 8 and 9, and they don't know anything. I have to stay strong in front of them, and that's hard. I'm ready to throw the towel in and crawl in a hole. Please help with this. Swan Song Blue has some advice. Sadly, OP, you appear to be trapped into doing the pick-me dance. Google it. You can never win doing this. You are undermining your own position and value at every turn. Basically, no one places any value on something that they can have for free and at any time. No one. You need to stop this immediately. Not only are you sacrificing your dignity, you are actually reinforcing the affair by demonstrating A, that he has a safety net and you take him back at any time, and B, that he's a valuable commodity, thereby giving him ego kibble and letting her know that she's won a prize. Your best course of action? Total indifference. What? Sounds counterproductive. Not at all. First of all, it takes away his safety net. Second, it undermines his confidence. Third, and this is the killer blow, OP, it will drive him bat nuts crazy. Cheats are mentally prepared for crying, wailing, shouting, screaming, begging, pleading, etc. That's what they expect. What they really don't expect is stone cold indifference. They can't cope with it. Watch his face. That will be its own reward. Not saying that it is easy, OP. At first, it's going to be really difficult. But you gotta fake it till you make it. How? No communication, unless it involves the health, safety, or welfare of your children. No conversation. No jollity. No favors. No sullenness. No complaining or arguing. Nothing. Just meh, meh, meh. He will try anything to get this thing back on track so that he regains his position as the prize. And I do mean anything. If he tries to engage you in conversation or argument, just change the subject to something of absolutely no relevance like, is rain forecast for Thursday? Or is Christmas Day on Tuesday this year? Don't weaken. Keep this up. Not only will it put him in line, it will occupy your thoughts and help you rebuild your own self-esteem. As far as the affair with this friend is concerned, OP, this is not some oversight sensation. It will have been going on for a while. Your husband is a cheat. He will cheat on her, too. Sure as eggs is eggs. With you, if you'd let him. Hopefully, in time, you will begin to see him for who and what he really is. Then you can begin to really heal. You are still very young. Your adventure in life has barely begun. Take your time and heal slowly. Be gentle with yourself. Another sliding door will present itself. Good luck. The OP replies, I must say reading this has given me something. Maybe hope. It's definitely great advice now I just have to follow. I will be okay. I'm just currently not there yet. Roundbrush 4828 chimes in. He was cheating on you and now blame shifting. I hope you live in a place that has strong infidelity laws for divorce. Make sure to get a stellar lawyer and take him for everything. Needs to be done because now you have to pick up the pieces after he selfishly destroyed your family. Mrs. Jingle 0729 says, talk to a lawyer and file. He can still pretend until after the holiday if that's what you want, but you can still file before then to get the ball rolling. The sooner the better. Tell him he's out January 1st and needs 2 bedrooms for the kids for his 50-50 time. He doesn't get to ride off free of responsibility to easy sex. He's a single dad now. Use your time to rebuild and recover. Don't let him in your home. That's your place to rest and relax. Having him there ruins that. During his days and nights with the kids, he needs to take them. Look up Grey Rock and 180. Download a child custody app and block him everywhere else. This is super helpful in court. All communication on app. Look up the 5 stages of grief and mourn the man you loved. It's a hard loss. But no, he's not that man anymore. The man you loved is now a selfish coward who was too lazy to put effort into your relationship because he was running after easy sex. You have no use for a man like that. Keep your chin up. Better things are around the corner, and you'll have the opportunity to meet someone that loves, respects, and values you. The sooner you cut contact and just use the app, the faster you'll heal. Oh, honey, you have to keep your wits about you. Don't beg for that loser back. You don't want him. You don't want that life. You deserve so much better. You have to stay strong for you and your kids. Your kids deserve the best version of you. If they knew what happened, they wouldn't want their mommy being treated this way. They think the world of you, and you should think the world of yourself. You deserve all the happiness that life has to offer. Time to get up, dust yourself off, and move forward. Mundo P, a hand below. Like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next video. We'd hate for you to miss